right as the game starts. All right, let's get right into it. Go ahead with the introduction, Delphius.
All right, spawning over on the left side, we've got Legoman and his opponent to the right, Erelu.
So,
and no tier 3.
No tier 3.
We expected Legoman to go pretty heavy on the tier 2.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect he'd go this hard. Like, he's only got squirrels as far as tier 1 fighter units are concerned.
It's interesting to see that Legoman already has gotten an advantage on this map, actually. Just based on the commander select, of course.
Oh, you're funny.
You didn't expect that one, did you?
I was like, what is he talking about? Is it the spawn and position of the pigs, or what's going on?
No.
Of
Just
course.
Just the commander.
All right, we might get an 8 farm here. And you know, another thing too is maybe I wonder if these chokes are enough. I guess if the units were high enough, lizards could be a problem. But I think most of the fighting points are strong. It's not like on Highway 404 where it was so crowded in there, you know, lizards can't find a tile. Do you think we might run into that on this map, or do you think it's big enough?
Maybe. It's interesting to, like, maybe not the crowded amount of tiles will be the problem. The problem for lizards might be that other units can shoot over the walls. And that means that the pathing to the enemy units will be longer because they have to run around the walls. Especially falcons are known for abusing walls like this pretty heavily. So that might be a thing.
Oh, kind of sneaky here from Erelu. Wants to keep Legoman in the dark. Legoman only scouts 1 tier 1 Warren, so you might be thinking maybe Erelu's getting another mill, maybe he's going for tier 2, and he's trying to look around, see where the rest of that money is. So a little bit of mind games there from Erelu.
Indeed, and he's just putting lizard ones in all kinds of weird locations here. Pure lizard here with pure squirrel from Legoman. We have the good old squirrel versus lizard debate put into a game now.
Yeah, this could bite Erelu in the butt if he loses momentum. Legoman finds an opportunity to counterattack. Those Warrens out in the open will be easy pickings. But if Erelu can stay aggressive and can stay the one being the initiator, it's not really going to matter.
Definitely not, no. And with the mobility of Arla's army, we're also looking at the potential for just running around the map and taking off any secondary mills or even so that mobility advantage, especially on this map that has so many paths, might actually just come in quite handy.
Yeah, that's a really good point on this map specifically because it's so open. You could almost like frame this map with like most of the guts in the middle, and it could have been a little bit smaller, but where like these lakes are in all the corners, you know, that's so much open space, and units like lizards could really be abused by running around back there and trying to grab a tier 2 Warren or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed. We haven't really seen any fighting between the two players, but if we look here, they're now building a T2, and we have cams coming out from both players here. It's interesting to see that their T2s are almost identical. They have 3 of the same, but Legoman is bringing in a 4th here in place of lizards. We'll see how that one works out for him. We see Ariel actually going for those sneaky plays that I was talking about here. Is Legoman ready to respond here? We see, and one lizard gets taken down here. Just a little...
that was really good on both players. Like, Erelu not committing there was super smart, and Legoman got in position to defend very quickly. So, I think that was a good play.
But a tiny bit of an advantage to Legoman taking out one lizard for that tiny little 20 food value.
Absolutely.
Arlau now goes with the Southern Campfire here. This might be hard to actually get for Legoman.
But it could have been a lot worse. And before Legoman started getting this, like, ton of tier 2 out, you know, Squizzard Chameleon versus just straight Squirrel Chameleon, I think Erelu had a little window where his army comp was better. But since we still haven't had a fight, like, this is kind of weird. This is, like, both players building up to, like, max one base army values. You know what I mean? Like, there hasn't been fights yet. Nobody's trying to take another base.
No, we're seeing
building up huge armies.
Look at the middle of the map, though, Delphius. We see Legoman now moving to the middle here. Yeah, we have one campfire from Legoman in the middle, and Ariel has taken the southern campfire at the very bottom of the map. Also,
Legoman is gonna start. Oh, he's got really good positioning, bringing the front, keeping the ferrets behind this territory, like you were talking about earlier. You know, get behind some of this. But here's the engagement.
Yeah, the cams are ready to answer the lizard's engagement, though, and the engagement doesn't really happen here. One pig already goes down, and now the actual fight finally happens. All this gas in the choke here might just be really good at taking down, and we see the Legoman's push just continues here, and he's now gassing down the second pig. 2 pigs down here in Legoman's favor.
This is going
Free.
so well for Legoman so far. All this tier 2, like he's got a lot of variety. He's lacking that variety in the tier 1, but with the skunk chameleon ferret combo, controlling this little zone has been very easy for him.
Yeah, and despite the many paths that lizards have here, we see lizards have a hard time just fighting through this choke here with all the skunk gas being put down. Now in comes another fight here between the two here. We'll see what happens here. All these camps here doing good work for Arla. Will it be enough to take down the army of Legoman? Legoman is retreating back to his warrens here, so it seems like for now Arla has actually managed to send him back here. Will he be able to recover some of the value lost from losing all those farms there?
Wow, Arlu actually pushing through, and Legoman being a little bold here, building so many warrens up on the front lines for that quick reinforcement, biting them in the butt as Arlu pushes them all the way back.
But at the same
takes it all out.
Nice, but at the same time, we still see that Arlo has missed out on those free farms there. He's trying to rebuild them now, but is it really worth it with that little amount of food left on them? We haven't actually seen any mills being grabbed here yet.
Yeah, the cabin the campfire in the south really helping out Arlu here. I agree, taking that one farm again. He might be under the gun a little bit, but yeah, you typically don't want to rebuild when there's that little wheat left there.
Yeah, you'd rather just build another mill and try and go for that instead.
Yeah.
But he is gonna rebuild all the mills, the farms in his starting base here.
Those Falcons did such a good job last fight. I think they really got Arlu over the top in that engagement. Just such a good position to keep those well defended.
Look at this engagement's gonna come in here. Is other Ferrets gonna be caught out? No, they managed to go back here. Now another engagement comes in here. Are these Falcons gonna do well? Starving players are going to start happening now, but we'll see if Arlo could just manage to keep pushing through here.
Yeah, the chameleons and the lizards just creating this wonderful front line for these Falcons. Those pigeons there even to help keep things healed up. And look at these Falcons, man. They've done so much damage this game. I don't think he's even lost them.
No, I just don't. I think Legoman is just going to lose on the first game here to DeRuru, a.k.a. Arlo. So, let's go and ask the players what map they would like to play on next.
Wow, really cool game.
Yes.
Legoman had a lot of momentum coming up. I thought he was going to win it for sure, but I guess he just kind of overstayed his welcome a little bit. And Arlu, like I said, with the chameleons and the lizards tanking up front, those Falcons just got so much value in both those fights. And it makes sense why Legoman committed to that position too. He placed 3 warrens there. He had a campfire there. That's 240 food, and not just the food. Like, you also have to keep in mind when you lose warrens, you're losing that production value, which is going to make your follow-up attack or follow-up defense that much worse. And I think that's really where Arlu won the game. Was because Legoman had put so much valuable things in the center. He wasn't able to kind of take the money and run. He did a really good job at the beginning, harassing with the ferrets, killing some pigs, taking a good engagement, but he needed to go home after that, and he just couldn't because he built so much in the middle, I think.
Yeah, indeed.
And Arlu capitalized on it.
Indeed, I think that's a little bit of a overextension of his warrens there, and that can cost you the game. Warren position is very important.
It was a decision, Legoman, exactly. It was overextending because he was like, I'm gonna win, and I'm just going to solidify that by shaving a few seconds off my reinforcement time. So it was definitely greedy play by Legoman. But sometimes you got to try those types of things, All
right, we're ready for the next match here. The map has been chosen. It's going to be Grey Marrow Hollow.
Awesome. This is the first time we've seen this tournament. This is another one of the kind of weird maps. The thing that's a little bit weird about this one is the vertical reflection on this one being vertically symmetrical rather than diagonally. So let's see what that's going to mean for these players.
Yeah, we've also talked about the very tight chokes on this at the very top of the map.
Yeah, do you take barbed wire to just seal that in, or
With the popularity of lizards here and the general closeness,
it might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, your second base is also like easily wireable, especially with the cheaper wire of this patch here. So I think Grey Marrow Hollow is the map you want to build wire on. You don't even need to get the whole second base, right? If you just that inner pocket, like that inner ramp, you just get that one and you're good. Like, I could imagine someone going for wire into boar. Imagine that one for a second, Delphius.
Sure.
I think you could
You could wire up the main pretty easily and do a 1-base tier 3 if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think could definitely happen on Grey Marrow. Legoman here is slowly trying to figure out what his 6 units should be. He goes for the turrets.
Sure. I like turrets. I've always liked them. I don't think they're always the most,
look at how
try hard unit, but they have their place.
Yeah,
especially without moles.
Yeah, look at the similarities between the two decks, though. They both really like having those triple T3s here. Of course, Legoman had also had ferrets last game, but he's exchanged those for MGs in this one. Let's see if this is what he wants. No, he doesn't want camps either now. He's a little bit indecisive what he wants for his deck. Badger.
There we go. There's a tier 3.
Badger. We might see a T3 here coming out in Grey Marrow. We did talk about the possibility of T3s on it just now, so we'll see if Legoman can make it happen.
All right, spawning up top, we've got Legoman. And his opponent to the rights, Erlu. So yeah, Legoman's got that bread and butter tooth and tail deck, that style that the devs kind of intended, or at least thought most people would go for, the like 2 tier 1, 2 tier 2, a tier 3, and a defense. And Erlu, on the other hand, is running the style that I kind of coined, like the bruiser style a little bit. You want a really strong early to mid game with a lot of tier 1, a lot of tier 2 options, shaving off those defense and tier 3 so you can get, and as we saw last game, stuff like Chameleon and Lizard to back up the Falcon just works so well.
Indeed, and we'll see if it works out here. Now, the map is quite different here. The map here isn't dumb after all, and there's much less variety when it comes to attack paths here. You only have really two ways to attack the main here. So, on dump, you'd have like 5. So we'll see how people take these changes to the map here.
Yeah, maybe it's not as much of a lizard map as you think from looking at the thumbnail, because there are only 2 attack paths, and that back path is tempting, but you might be better off trying to do something like sneak chameleons through there.
Indeed.
Or falcons over that water. And there's a lot of stuff you could do. I always love seeing players do that, like fly falcons over obstructed terrain and try to poke in different places.
Yeah, we feel that might happen if we're lucky, but we already see Arla now going for that second mill, though, so seems like there's going to be some economy here. This map has always been interesting when it comes to like the 3rd and even 4th base here, so...
And we finally get a quote-unquote standard game in this tournament. Both players going for like an 8-farm double into Gristmill. This is kind of what we expect. Every match we've seen so far has been hyper-aggressive. Players just kind of getting into slap fights, on one base for as long as possible, only taking that second base if they really have to. And it's going to be neat. Legoman built a turret, so to me that says he wants to build a tier 3.
Yeah, and I also like just generally that I think the map is a big influencer of how they are choosing not to play aggressively on this map too.
Yeah, it's not as the other maps that we've seen have been pretty geared towards aggression. Not so much on Kalaru's new one. Blanking on the name. The Glacier one. Glacier, yes. Yeah, Glacier. But the other 2 maps are definitely like just screaming at you to play aggressive. So
yeah, but it's definitely nice to see some gameplay variety here with Grey Marrow Hollow. We see them both going for quite a few farms here. More farms for Arlo so far here with Legoman.
Oh, here's that 6 lizard backdoor attack we've been talking about.
Yeah, but there is a turret ready to respond. There is a turret ready to respond.
Focus that down
here.
Pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, and 2 lizards are lost, maybe 1 only. So I don't really think that was too much value in it for Legoman putting that turret there.
I mean, I would rather lose the turret than lose a pig.
That's fair. On the other hand, I would also rather put down 4 barbed wire in the choke than I would have. I still want to see people go for 4 barbed wire in that choke. It only costs 40.
I mean, this map is even telling you to build barbed wire. It has barbed wire like built on it.
Look at the lizards there. They're going for the MG there, and they're like actually getting attacked there. Now these squirrels moving. There's no micro. I don't think it was value to take down the MG. I just think he lost like 5 lizards, and it just didn't become value anymore.
Yeah, it would have been if he recalled those units faster, but letting him hang out and losing an extra 3 or 4 for free. Legoman really turtling up with all these turrets,
And
really trying to hide this Badger. But if you're Airlu, even though you haven't seen the Badger, you might be suspicious.
you want to see something interesting here? When he puts the 2 MGMGs here, when they're done building, his commander, Arla's commander can't actually walk through because they just block the commander from even walking through.
Yeah, you can't scout that way anymore.
So that makes it really hard to scout against Legoman on this map here. See, Arla's going to go through now and
figure that
boom,
out.
he can't walk through. You can't walk through that wall.
That's a lot of information regardless. You know, you can see that, okay, my opponent's really going crazy on the defense, so they've got to be up to something.
Indeed, and that something is named Badger in this case.
Well, Airlu's not super far behind. They've got 2 base saturation. Lizards and chameleons can take down a Badger, but it's still difficult. And what do you think, Jed? Isn't the right way to engage in this, like, kill all the units supporting the Badger and then kill the Badger? Don't try to just dive right on it.
Well, kind of, yeah. I think you could definitely do that with Arla's army comp. I just don't think Arla's the best suited for it. But we see an engage coming in here. He's going to take it down before the Badger even comes out here. We'll see. The fight is happening under all these pixels. It's going to add a lot of DPS, but it seems like Arla can just push in here and go pretty far. The Badger isn't out yet. It needs 20 more seconds. It's not quite here. These chameleons are still alive. They've taken so much damage, but they're still there. One of them
this is 540 food that Legoman has between those 3 turrets and the Badger that just aren't in the fight, and Airlu got a good window.
Oh, he goes straight in there and just takes him out. Legoman does not get to go for it, and Arlo actually just takes the 2-0 victory here.